Welcome to the podcast. My guest today is Casey Grau. She's with the Bucyrus. I got to look down because I'm getting a little tired this morning. I get a very, I don't know why, but I do. But anyhow, she is the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce, the director there.
Correct.
And I appreciate having you back on the
having me.
podcast. You got a whole what now? How long have you been there? It's been about a month or so, or a little over, maybe a couple.
Yeah, I've been in the position almost 2 months now.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, man! I'll tell you, you've already been through the goodies, right? Already.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. I think.
Yeah, I got you. I know you guys got a lot of things planned and whatever, but I thought today we'd kind of spend a little time talking about this bed tax because this seems to be an issue that keeps coming up. And maybe it might need some clarification.
Yes.
And, I think most of us out there really don't know anything about it. So if you don't mind, maybe that's an area we'll kind of get into today. Do you mind kind of going down this
That
area?
would be great.
All right. What is the bed tax? I guess let's start off with that. What is it? And how did the Bucyrus Tourism and Visitors Bureau, how do they receive it?
Yeah.
So what is it and about receiving it?
What we want people to know is that the bed tax, first and foremost, is not an income or property tax that the citizens of Bucyrus incur. Instead, it's a fee that's incurred when somebody spends the evening or the night at a local hotel, motel, or one of our lodging establishments. So, for example, if we have somebody coming in town and they spend the night at the Holiday Inn, when they get their bill, they're going to see lodging tax on that bill.
Okay.
And those fees are received then by the city of Bucyrus, and municipalities of any kind are required to give a portion of those fees to their local the local tourism bureaus and convention bureaus. So again, it's not a fee that's incurred by the citizens. Instead, it's something that's incurred when somebody comes and spends the night at one of our lodging facilities.
Now my question is Tourism Advisory Council.
Yes.
Okay, so is this who actually manages this now?
So this
How does this,
group,
this is,
yeah.
I'm just trying to get clarification here.
Yeah.
So for our
This
listeners.
group is charged with making recommendations to the chamber and the chamber board for, okay, we've got an idea and we want to spend bed tax dollars this way. Since the chamber now oversees tourism, it goes to the chamber's board for approval.
Okay, so this advisory council makes recommendations to the chamber board.
It does.
Okay, about the how this money is spent.
Exactly.
Now I understand, was there a surplus because of, I would say probably there wasn't money coming in, but then there wasn't money being spent. So there was a surplus, am I correct, after the COVID deal?
And money continued to come in for the bed tax to Bucyrus Tourism and Visitors Bureau because it essentially has to.
Yes.
So we get about $24,000 on average from those bed tax dollars each year. You multiply that going back to COVID, so about 4 years, we've got a good surplus, mostly because of inactivity that didn't occur through the Tourism Bureau's wing. So the Tourism Advisory Council now is working to spend that money in a way that's strategic and appropriate for tourism-related activities.
Now, are they actually leading this initiative, or should we say the chamber is?
Yeah, I would say the Tourism Advisory Council is really kind of leading the charge here. And we do have a member of City Council who's
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because this is going to be another question that's probably also came to my mind. Do you have a member of council on the committee that is involved with this?
We do. We've got a member of City Council on the committee. Now, keep in mind, the committee wasn't solidified until January of this year, so we're just getting started.
Okay, so this didn't really happen until January 2024.
Correct.
We're kind of getting this all solidified after what I will say this hiatus between roughly the, between COVID and you coming in. Correct? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
Okay.
There's been this hiatus, and now we've got this group who really wants to get tourism back up and running. So this Tourism Advisory Council makes recommendations and comes up with ideas. We have a consultant that's helping kind of lead the charge as well. And so we then take ideas from Tourism Advisory Council and pitch those ideas to the Chamber's board.
All right. Now, what's the current plan, I guess, on utilizing this money? Because
Yeah.
everybody's going to say, well, there's money there. What are you going to use it for?
Yeah. So what we're learning is that tourism is really a focus of marketing for our area. So first step is we've got to get the word out to tourists. And those are typically individuals that live or come to the area from 50 plus miles away. So we've got to get information out to them that says, here are the unique things about Bucyrus, and here's the things you can come and enjoy when you do get here. So we're working on marketing material, and that includes brochures, video work. We've done a lot of work for the eclipse. In fact, if you go to ohio.org and go to Crawford County's eclipse page, you'll see all the work that's been done by us on that webpage. And it's a way for people to understand what's happening here in the community for the eclipse.
Well, it sounds like you're moving in a direct part of that. Now you're speaking about events and whatever, because now we've also seen a lot having to do with the Bratwurst Festival.
Yes.
Why is the Bratwurst Festival part of your plan? Is it a part? First of all, is it a part of your plan? And if it is,
It is, and it always has been a part of Bucyrus Tourism Visitors Bureau sponsorship plans.
Okay, that's you're stating it better than I am.
Yeah, so it's nothing new. It's something that the Bureau has always sponsored. I shouldn't say always, but historically they sponsored the Bratwurst Festival. And we received a letter in the mail requesting sponsorship again this year. So we took it to our board and said, hey, this is something we think we should discuss. Traditionally, we have sponsored the Bratwurst Festival. Should we do it again? And in considering that response or that answer, we looked at that tradition that we've had of sponsoring it, and then the financial state that we're hearing that the Bratwurst Festival is in. And we said, hey, we think this is a good idea to continue that tradition that we've had.
Well, it sounds to me like there's a process in place, and that's what I think people are wondering. What is the process in place? You have an advisory council.
Yeah.
They make suggestions or recommendations to the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce, correct, about this?
Correct.
And it kind of goes from there, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to get a simplified version of this for some people when they walk away from this today. They'll have a better understanding of this. And I'm sure I'm not being all inclusive in this. And maybe actually there'll be more questions. But, okay, how do you go from here? Let's say somebody says, okay, I got a better understanding of this, and I'd like to know more about this. Or, maybe there weren't some things that we didn't address today. Maybe that should have got addressed.
Yeah.
Who do they direct their questions to?
Call me or come see me or email me anytime. And, we want to be as transparent as we possibly can about the work that's happening. We're really excited about the work that's happening, and we want the community to be on board with that work. So anytime they can stop into the chamber office, they can call me, they can email me, and I'm happy to give them the information that they need.
And me is Casey Grau.
Casey Grau.
The director of the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce. So basically, kind of, it's upon you, correct?
It is.
So if they've got questions, they need to address these to you.
Yeah, please come to me, and I'm happy to either get them the information or we can get them to the person who might be better served to get them the information they need.
Yeah, because there's people who have certain expertises in part of this, and maybe somebody's got what I call a more technical question.
Yeah.
And they're people in all organizations that they have certain functions and things that they might be able to answer the question a little bit more specifically.
Correct. Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming in and talking today about this.
Thank
because
you so much.
it is something that's been out there and about, and I think you've cleared a lot of things. At least my understanding is considerably more than what I knew prior to doing this podcast with you.
Good. And we'll keep working and getting information out so people have a better understanding of the work that's happening. One of the other goals we have is to start getting some monthly communication out via newsletter. So there's some more kind of information that people can see and hear about rather than, maybe watching me at a city council meeting. So, we're working. We've got baby steps that we're trying every day. And we hope in the end people will feel good about the work and the economy that's being boosted because of tourism.
Well, you're 2 months in, or plus maybe a little bit, in this position. So, it takes time to work these things through. You just don't snap your fingers and these things just immediately happen.
Yeah,
And
you hope that could happen, right? But
Yeah.
these things take time, and there's a strategy, and we want to be intentional about how we spend the money. and the good work that's tourism related, but then also that can benefit the members of the chamber too.
Well, patience is a virtue, and we need it. We need a lot of patience.
Yes,
Really.
yes, thank you for saying
Well,
that.
again, I want to thank Casey Grau, the director of the Bucyrus Area Chamber of Commerce, for being the guest today on the podcast. Hope to have you back again soon.
Thank you.
And hopefully, as things progress, I'm sure you'll come in and talk with us and enlighten the public about what's going on.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you.